Welcome to the Not So Planned podcast,
where we take you on a journey through the exciting,
unpredictable
at CAG here in Guatemala.
Our podcast is all about exploring how God
moves in our daily school routines,
whether they are planned or completely unexpected.
All right, welcome back, guys, to the Not So Planned podcast. This is our third episode. I'm your host, Caleb Hardiman, once again, and with me I have...
Leva, back again.
How are you feeling, Ailey?
I'm feeling good. Just a little stuck up, just a little gripe that I had. But something is very stressful this week because we're planning for next week, which is finals.
Oh, finals are so much fun. We have review and we have packets and problems and lots of really fun stuff. But it's just one last week and it's summer.
But the verse that has helped me through this week and will help me through finals week is Psalm 1112. Great are the works of the Lord, studied by all who delight in them. This just helps me because it shows that God created me and his work. So it shows that he created me perfectly and capable of studying and passing my finals, for example.
Yeah, it also says we should delight in studying. So, great are the works of the Lord, studied by all who delight in them.
The final that I'm most scared of is my science final.
Oh
gosh.
Well, at least we're not doing chemical compounds. That was a hard subject.
Yeah.
Speaking about science, we have a little bit of a game trivia like we had last week. So we're going to ask 3 questions, and I hope you know the answers to them. Hopefully you've been paying attention to science class. So first off, how many elements are there in the periodic table?
We studied this last semester. 124?
124?
Yeah.
We'll find out later.
Is it wrong?
I don't know. We'll find out later.
Okay.
Which 2 elements in the periodic table are liquids at room temperature? Now, this one's a bit harder one because I know not everyone's memorized the elements in the periodic table.
I don't know. Probably water.
Water's a combination of elements.
Oh, crap. Okay, I have no idea, Caleb.
We'll get to the answers later at the end of the video. And what element is a diamond composed of?
I think I know this one. Is it carbon?
No, hold up. No, I think I might have read that wrong. We'll see it later.
Okay.
We're talking about different events we're having this week. We just had Stuco election, right? And that reminds me of something. What are some responsibilities that you have?
Some responsibilities that I have in my house is to get good grades, stay active, and read my Bible. Those are minor things, but then there's bigger things like cleaning the house or everything. But at the same time, when you think about it, there's people out there who have even bigger responsibilities.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well,
else.
Our guest is no exception to that.
For sure.
She has a lot of responsibilities and she does a lot of things and she does them with excellence.
Okay, so our guest, she grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania and went to the U.S. in College of Geneva College, in a small Christian college of Western Pennsylvania. She majored in math education and minored in Spanish. Her senior year in college, she applied to do a student teaching overseas, and she got accepted into CAG. After finishing the student teaching, she applied and decided to come back. And after that year, she came back for another year. And after that year, she came back for a third year. And in 2017, she got married and continued teaching at CAG while her husband studied at Setka. Thank you. And she has 3 children. And after working here for a while, they opened a children's home called here in Guatemala. And they currently have 20 children and young adults who live with them. She now has taught at CAG for 20 years and is teaching mainly math and science.
Welcome, Mrs. Cojón.
Thank you.
I did not know you've been at CG for this long.
Yes, 20 years now. I can't believe it either, but yes, it's been 20
2004 was the year I came, and it's 2024, so 20 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That's double the amount of time we've been here at CAG.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you come to know CAG?
I through my college, like I said, I student taught here. I actually didn't even know much about Guatemala or even where Guatemala was. But my college had a student teaching program, and so I looked at a list of schools, and CAG was on the list. I had originally applied to go to Honduras, but then they said, well, why don't you try Guatemala? And so I applied at CAG and came.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm so happy that you didn't get accepted in the Honduras one, but
My life would be different, I think.
yeah, life would be very different. So we're gonna go on with these questions, and the first topic is parent perspective. So how do you feel about your kids growing up in CAG, basically?
My kids growing up here has been a wonderful experience. My kids started at CAG since they were babies, really, because they were in cubby care when I was teaching. My oldest was probably about 10 weeks old when I started back to school, so he's been here very, very long time. It's been to have to be able to see how the teachers pour into my kids and the community that they have here has been really wonderful for them. Watching them grow up and have a community around them, English-speaking Christian community, has been really good.
That's so nice.
That's great. And what parts of CAG do you most appreciate for your kids?
I think I appreciate most the community. Our ministry where we live it's a 24/7 type ministry. And so here they can come and have friends, speak in English, and the education as well is because of our ministry. I've been involved in other schools here in Guatemala, and the way the education here is not just, you don't just have to go to chapel once a week or something like that. It's the biblical perspective is put into all of the education, and the dedication of the teachers pouring into their lives and ministering to them has been very, that's what I see is sets CAG apart.
Yeah, we can see a lot of teachers spend a lot of time and, like you said, dedicating themselves to the students, and taking time out of their schedules, like you did right now, coming to sit here and talk with us and answer our questions. And that's just a really great part about CAG. So jumping into, as you were mentioning, teachers, let's hear your teacher's perspective on CAG. So what classes do or have you taught before or right now?
This year I'm teaching, I have 8th grade science, earth-based science, 9th grade science, and geometry. In the past, I've taught, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, 6th grade math, 7th grade science, all within statistics. I think I taught 1 year, all within the math and science range, but different classes.
And in these classes that you teach, how have you integrated biblical perspective or biblical
integration? With science, it's so easy to integrate biblical perspective into science classes, because every time we're studying about the earth or we're studying about atoms and molecules in the periodic table or physics, you can see the imprint of the creator. And as I study it more, because I've learned a lot too through studying, through teaching it, the more I study about the world and the creation, the more amazed I am about the creator. And so I really enjoy bringing those things into the science classes and showing how everything around us points to there being a creator of the universe, an intelligent creator of the universe, and how we can learn more about him through looking at his creation. Math is a little bit different, but in the same way. Math, we're learning about patterns and order, and it shows again the plan in the creation of the universe and how everything has a meaning, and also just learning to think logically, and how that's so important for us as Christians to be able to give a valid reason. A reason for everything, a reason for what we believe in, which is what we have to do in geometry too. So it all works together in the same area.
So, like, you were talking about how CAG connects the Bible to all the topics. Do you know any other steps that CAG takes to integrate the Bible or something?
Other steps that CAG takes. We have our Bible classes and our chapel classes, and we have priority. I think CAG puts a priority on the spiritual growth of the students and giving them the opportunity. It doesn't mean they're going to take the opportunity, but presenting that opportunity to them and creating a good foundation of biblical knowledge so that they can either build on that knowledge. They can build on that knowledge later on in life.
Do you think that, like, through this whole process, do you think that it's helping them for later on in life?
I definitely think it is. I think it builds that foundation. It builds a foundation that when you leave this community and go out into the world, wherever that is, whether it's college or whether it's a working community, having that strong foundation there. Also academically, I've talked to many alumni who've left and gone on to college in different places and talked about how academically prepared they were for the challenges that they faced through learning in the future. And I think that the diverse community that we have here from different cultures and backgrounds really, even though we're small and even though it's somewhat a bubble, but it within the bubble we have a lot of diversity, and that you don't find in many places. I grew up in a very small community in Western Pennsylvania and very, very not very diverse. And the experience of being able to work with different people from different backgrounds and different cultures, I think really prepares you for going out into the workforce later on.
So those were our questions for the teacher's perspective. And now we're moving on to the ministry perspective. And so tell us a little bit about your ministry and just share how it came to be and what it's doing right now.
Okay. Eileen read in my bio, we have a children's home. It'll be 10 years now in August that we've been running a children's home. My husband is the director, and we're house parents there. It was not something we planned on doing. God has his ways of working. In fact, I said I never wanted to work at a children's home when I came to Guatemala, but God had other plans. Never say never. We had worked with a church plant, and we had worked in a ministry house, and the opportunity opened up when I was pregnant with my second son to move into the children's home more as a temporary thing. It didn't become temporary, but the home is, we receive kids from backgrounds of abuse, neglect, or abandonment that they're picked up by the police here in Guatemala for those reasons. And we take them in and help find, if we can find family members that they can go with to live with that are safe. We work through that process. Otherwise, we provide a safe home for them, a place where they can go to school, they can get healthy if they have health issues, and be safe away from abuse. And a lot, what we found is over the years, we thought we were going to be having a lot of kids that would just stay for us for a little time and then leave. But a lot of the kids we have are kind of stuck. They don't have any safe place to go to. So we've become their home. And so we have quite a few kids who've been with us for 8 or 9 years now, and are growing up into adulthood. So we look for education for them and jobs, and so that they can hopefully change their futures and become independent and form strong family units. And most importantly, we introduce them to the only one who can really heal all the trauma and hurts that they have, which is Jesus and his word, and present them with that so that they can look to him, who's never going to leave them and abandon them or hurt them. So,
do you teach in your children's home?
I don't teach right there. I'm mainly mom. I help with homework, but there my role is more mom. And so it's doing all the things that mom does, listening to the kids when they come home and have to say everything that happened to them that day, and cooking and cleaning a little bit. We have help for that, thankfully, but I'm just trying to be a mother figure when I'm there. So.
That reminds me of the Bible verse in Luke, I'm pretty sure, where Jesus is bringing in the kids, and he says, if you accept one of these, you're accepting me. Yeah. And that's just a really wonderful ministry, Mr. Cojón.
Well, it's definitely not us. It was not something I planned on doing.
Yeah.
It's God's ministry, and he's just placed us there for the time right now. And we're walking alongside the kids day by day. Most of the time we don't know for sure what we're doing. But he gives us a lot of wisdom, and he's the one who's working in their lives and changing them. So.
Do you guys do a church service in your community or in your children's home, or do you go to another church?
We go to church. Yeah, we take all the kids. There's about 35 of us in total. We go to church every Sunday, El Camino Church here in San Cristobal, and we take all the kids, and they participate in the children's classes. Some participate in youth group now, and they're very integrated into the church now. That's actually been a huge blessing for us to have a church that we can go to where we have other solid Christian families that can pour into the kids as well.
That's incredible.
That's amazing. That's so sweet that you play mom. I just wanted to say that. That's so sweet how you put it. But like, I know it's hard running like a children's home in a country that you majored in Spanish, but like it's mostly hard to run a children's home in a country that you have kind of the same idea, maybe not the same idea. But do you think having like an English speaking community has helped you balance everything?
That's a good question, and I would definitely say yes. I've been asked the question many times why I'm still teaching, because our ministry is 24/7. It's very, very busy, and I could full-time be there all the time, but I really have valued the community I have here at school. It's in some ways for me, it's an encouragement for me to come, even though I'm working here. It's my escape a little bit. I get to come and speak English. I get to be with other wonderful teachers and administration and faculty here at the school who encourage me, and I get the time to. I do love to teach, so I enjoy doing that as well. And so it is my time a little bit away. And I think in some ways it helps me balance out being there full time, because sometimes it can get very heavy, can get very difficult sometimes with the problems that some of the kids come in with. And I think that having the encouraging community here where I can speak in my native language a little bit and have others around me that can encourage me has been really, really helpful for me to continue doing what I'm doing. So, and for my kids as well, I think it's really important for them.
It's just awesome how God brought you here and still allows you to do everything in the children's ministry. Like, God is such a great help.
Yes. Oh, yes.
He plans
does it
everything.
all. Yeah.
Did you see yourself when you were little becoming a teacher?
No, I did not. I originally was interested in medicine. I wanted to go. I like science and I liked math, so I thought medicine, kind of field involving medicine, not necessarily a doctor, but was where I was first interested. It wasn't until I was in high school and I was asked to tutor some students in high school, some classmates of mine in physics and in math, and I really enjoyed the tutoring. And so then I changed and I thought, well, maybe I started majoring in biology, and then I switched to biology education, and then I changed to math education. And so it kind of evolved along the way. I didn't see myself always as being a teacher. Whoa. I used to hate standing in front of people and talking. I was terrified. When I was in 7th grade, we had speech class, and it terrified me. So I thought I could never do it, but now I can.
God works in amazing ways and unexpected ways as well.
Yes,
like you said earlier, you never saw yourself being running an orphanage, or right now, as you said, you never saw yourself as a teacher, but now you're here, a teacher, and running an orphanage.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, never know what God can do with your life. When you turn it over to him, he can do amazing things, even things you never thought you could do.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Cojón, for taking the time just to be here and telling us about yourself and how you managed to juggle all three aspects. We wanted to see, for the trivia games, I want to see if you know the answers, because I'm not 100% sure with Eileen's responses. So the first one was, how many elements are there in the periodic table?
There are 118, but I would say our science book only has 114 in it, because our science book is a little bit old and now there's new. So our science book lists 114, but there are 118 now.
Not 124.
Not 124. That's a few extra.
And which two elements on the periodic table are liquids at room temperature?
Liquids. I know mercury. I don't remember the other one.
Bromine.
Okay.
And then Eileen got the diamond element right. What element is a diamond composed of? Carbon.
Ms. Cojón, I have a question. Yes. Is it true that it rains diamonds on like a planet?
It rains diamonds on a planet?
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Oh, okay.
My son might know that. He's all into watching space videos, but
Oh.
I guess it could. But,
Which son?
my youngest, the 6-year-old Caleb.
What a man.
Yes, he watches space videos all the time.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah. Do you have any additional comments for everything?
Thank you for having me today, and it was enjoyable to talk with you, and I'm glad I could do it.
All right. Thank you for coming. And to whoever's watching us, they have a Facebook page that you can go visit and just learn a bit more about Children's Home. What is it called again?
It's Hogar Mana.
Hogar Mana.
Hogar Mana Children's Home, I think is how it's written on
So,
my head.
yeah, check it out. Follow them. And don't forget to follow us and like the video and share it with as many people as you know. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.